think you are feeding birds. They think you are becoming predictable. Same mug, same door, same path across the grass. Somewhere nearby, a chickadee has already noticed the pattern. Not magic, not mind reading, just survival-level observation. After a few weeks, your yard has a file with your name on it. They know when you arrive, where you stand, and how you move. They have mapped you. 1. Your schedule becomes their clock. Birds cannot waste energy guessing when breakfast might appear. A small bird may lose a surprising amount of energy overnight. So your porch light, seed bin, and door hinge become clues. After several mornings, the regulars start arriving before you do. If you are late, some wait instead of leaving. A loose feeding window gives them confidence without making them dependent. Predictability saves energy, especially in cold weather. The gift is not just food. It is a reliable pattern. 2. They recognize the feeder person. The birds do not just recognize humans. They recognize the feeder person. Your jacket, height, gait, and face become one safe profile. Another person can fill the same feeder and get a different reaction. At first, they may scatter farther and return slower. That is not ingratitude. It is good risk management. Corvids are famous for face memory, but smaller birds read patterns too. When your movements stay calm, your identity becomes easier to trust. The safest version of you is slow, familiar, and boring. 3. They read your mood before you speak. Birds read movement before they read intention. A relaxed walk tells a different story than a rushed one. Tight shoulders, fast steps, and sudden turns look predatory. On stressful mornings, the same birds may explode off the feeder. They are not reading your mind. They are reading your body. Predators telegraph intent through motion, and birds evolve to notice. 3 slow breaths before stepping outside can calm the whole yard. Sometimes the first feeder lesson is for the human nervous system. 4. Your yard becomes their mental map. Every regular bird carries a map of your yard in its head. It knows the feeder, the hedge, the maple, and the fastest escape route. It knows which branch wobbles and which bush hides danger. When you feed daily, you become a landmark on that map. The back door is not just a door anymore. It is the food door. The spot where you stand has its own meaning. Move the feeder every few days, and the map has to update again. Stable spaces invite confidence. Random changes invite caution. 5. Trust spreads through the regulars. New visitors often learn your yard by watching the regulars. If the chickadee eats calmly, the shy bird studies that decision. If the regulars panic, the newcomer learns that too. This is why one calm routine can change the whole feeder community. Comments are full of birds waiting, reminding, and peeking inside windows. A blue jay at the chair is not being dramatic. It learned the system. When the feeder is empty, some birds check the house instead. You may call it begging. They may call it data collection. 6. Daily feeding changes the whole backyard. Feed every day, and you do not only attract birds. Squirrels, rabbits, raccoons, and deer may notice the pattern too. That can feel joyful, but it also means the yard needs boundaries. Clean feeders, fresh water, and less spilled seed matter more over time. Many viewers mentioned that water may matter as much as seed. Food brings them in. Clean habits help them stay healthy. Ground feeding can work, but spilled seed can invite problems. A good routine feeds birds without turning the yard into chaos. 7. They notice when you change. Birds notice when the familiar person suddenly behaves differently. A new coat, a new route, or a loud refill can reset trust for a moment. That does not mean you ruined anything. It means the birds are checking whether the story is still safe. Keep your movement steady, and the old file updates peacefully. This is how wild trust works. Not once, but every day. The birds are not pets, but they are not strangers either. They are neighbours with wings and very good memories. 8. What to do starting tomorrow. Tomorrow, stop at the door before you step into the yard. Notice the birds that were already watching before you arrived. Walk the same route, refill calmly, and keep the setup clean. Keep water fresh and cover nearby, but not so close that predators hide. If you miss a day, do not panic. Nature is flexible. The goal is not dependency. The goal is safer rhythm. When the yard feels predictable, birds come closer without being forced. That is the quiet reward of being trusted by wild things. A relationship you did not know you started. You walked out with seed. They answered with attention. Day after day, attention becomes recognition, and recognition becomes trust. The birds have been learning you while you were learning them. That is what happens when feeding becomes a rhythm. What did your birds learn? Tell the story your feeder has been quietly writing. Comment your bird story.